What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another 2021 NFL mock draft. I'm really excited for this one. This is my newest mock draft. I'm just going to do one round for you guys. I've got my screen up right here so you can see who I pick when I pick them. Let's hop straight into it. We're going to start with the number one overall pick. I think this one's, pretty obvious. I don't think there's any way around it, but I think that the Jets have to go with Trevor Lawrence. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is such a dominant force already in college, and there's just no way that they pass up on him here. He is, just pretty much every aspect of his game is very good right now. He's good size. He's 6'6", which of course for a quarterback, you want to be tall. These offensive linemen aren't big. You got to be able to see over them. I know some shorter quarterbacks have trouble, but he's also really fast. He's got a strong arm. He's really fast. He's got pretty much everything you need to be a successful quarterback. At least look like a successful quarterback in the NFL so far. So moving on to pick number two, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I've got to go another quarterback here. Justin Fields, in my opinion, he is the number one pick in just about any draft class other than this one. Because Trevor Lawrence is so talented, Justin Fields unfortunately drops to two. Fields is so good. He's got such good arm strength. He's really good under pressure. He's really fast. I mean, he's just, again, he's got it all: physical tools, his arm, his ability to extend plays. Looking like, a lot of successful quarterbacks. Maybe Russell Wilson, even just his arm strength, his ability to extend the play, his speed, and he's smart about it too. So I think there's no way the Jaguars pass up on the opportunity to take a player as good as Justin Fields. He's so good. Moving on, however, to pick number three, the Bengals. I feel like this is where it starts to get a little bit more interesting, but not much. I think this is a pretty easy pick for them. Penei Sewell, possibly one of the best O linemen we've seen come out of a draft in recent years. He is a physical specimen. He's 6'5", 325, so maybe even a little bit undersized for an offensive tackle. However, he's only gonna get more. He's amazing in the run game. I've seen highlights. He's just ridiculous. He gets to that second level. He somehow gets his blocks off on D lineman and then a linebacker and then also a corner or a safety if he has to. He gets out there so that the running back can score as many times as possible. He's also good in the pass game, no doubt. But I think my main asset for him is just his run blocking. He's so good in the run game. Not many better than him. Moving on to pick number four, we've got the Dallas Cowboys. Um, sorry, the Los Angeles Chargers here. Uh, we'll go with the Cowboys. Just go with that. Sorry, my order's a little messed up on my spreadsheet. Um, right here for the Dallas Cowboys, just because I understand this pick's not going to make much sense, but my order over here is different. So I have the Dallas Cowboys at 5 and the Chargers at 4. So I'm going to go for the Dallas Cowboys, Caleb Farley. I do have Patrick Surtain going to the Chargers. So just so you know, I don't think Farley's better than Surtain. Both really good. Patrick Surtain, obviously an amazing prospect out of Alabama. I think he is, again, one of the best corners we've seen in recent years. He has such good hands. He's 6'1", 203 pounds, and he's really fast too. He is patient. He's very reserved at the snap. He doesn't commit a lot of penalties at the line of scrimmage. He is, he's very, very good defending the ball. One-on-one coverage, there are not many receivers who are going to go up and catch the ball over him. He's always good at getting his hands up in the receiver's face, just getting a tip on the ball. That's all you need to disrupt the pass. Just not many balls get through him. So that's why I went Surtain for me at pick number 4. And then pick number 5 to the Cowboys is going to be Caleb Farley. I think that looks like he was a high school quarterback and started his career at Virginia Tech as a wide receiver, which I think are honestly pretty valuable assets to have moving to corner. You may know how a little bit how much a little bit of how a quarterback or a receiver thinks when he's running and when he's throwing. So I think that he obviously his footwork is incredible. He played as a receiver, moved to corner. His footwork is just incredible. It's the um his biggest strength is his footwork. He is able to mirror routes really, really well. His awareness is great. He's got size. Again, he's bigger than Surtain. He's taller at least by about an inch. He's just a really, really good corner. I think again, just that the ability to know how that receiver thinks and the footwork to keep up with all the receivers in the league are just really going to help him out. Um, that's why I think he'll be pick 5, maybe a little bit early, but I think it's not that much of a reach when you're getting a player that good. Now, pick number 6, the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that there are 2 players on the board. This is between 2 players for the Eagles, Micah Parsons, the linebacker, and Jamar Chase. And that makes this a really tough pick because, as you can see, linebacker and receiver are 2 of the Philadelphia Eagles' top needs. With Jalen Hurts named as the starting quarterback this week, I think that their receiving core needs a lot of help, and although their defense is just fine, I think they can wait on Micah Parsons, which is why, I mean, not specifically on Micah Parsons, but on that linebacker. I think when you have the opportunity to draft Jamar Chase here, I think there's not much of a way you can pass up on that. Jamar Chase is so good. Really just he was there with Justin Jefferson at LSU with Joe Burrow throwing to them, and he was still getting more targets, more receptions, more yards than Jefferson. He set the single season SEC record for receiving yards and touchdowns as a true sophomore in 2019, which is ridiculous because most of the guys that come out of the draft are juniors and seniors, and this year he's a junior. So last year as a sophomore, I mean, he played as a freshman, made him a true sophomore, and he still set records. It's ridiculous. He's a great route runner. He is able to get open just from anywhere. Many corners just cannot keep up with his route running abilities. He's so good with his hands too. He's incredible. Moving on to pick number 7, the Carolina Panthers. Now they're extremely happy with the Eagles' decision to grab Jamar Chase because they don't need Jamar Chase. They've got receivers, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson. They don't need another receiver in Jamar Chase. But what they do need, Micah Parsons, the linebacker out of Penn State, is by far, I think, the best linebacker in this class. I mean, they don't get much better than him. He is super, super athletic. He's only 6'2" at linebacker, but as I said, that athleticism, he's super, super fast off the edge. I mean, he used to play defensive end in high school, so he's got good pass rushing. He's also got, I mean, pass coverage is very good. He's just an exceptional all around player, almost like Isaiah Simmons coming out of the draft last year. But I think he even adds that extra pass rush ability that Isaiah Simmons. I know we all know Isaiah Simmons has the ability to get to that quarterback on the pass rush, but Parsons does it a little bit more. I mean, he does a little bit better, in my opinion, and he's good in pass coverage. That's why I have to go Michael Parsons on this one. I think it's a very, very good pick for the Panthers here. Moving on to pick number 8, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, right here, the Atlanta Falcons, I think that with the players that are on the board, I know they could be going for a quarterback right here. They could drop a little bit for Zach Wilson right there. Trey Lance is there too. However, I don't think they will. I think that they need, I mean, obviously their defense has been so weak this year. They just need a good pass rusher right now just to start off that defense. The secondary is all right, has not been great, but that pass rush needs some work. That's why Gregory Rousseau, he is an incredible athlete. He's got great length, knows how to use it. He is able to position himself to get around blockers. He's able to get sacks on the quarterback because he's just so quick. I know he's an edge rusher. He lines up a defensive end, but he can also line up a defensive tackle and then still run around centers and guards. I don't know how he does it. He can get to the quarterback from anywhere on the D line. I bet he could even line up at a bit of outside linebacker and rush from there. I don't know. He's kind of big, but I bet he could. But moving on to pick number 9, the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is an interesting one for me because I think the Dolphins, obviously, they need a receiver. I feel like DeVonta Parker is their only suitable option at receiver right now. And Tua needs more options to throw to. And what do you know? There are 2 Alabama receivers sitting up here in the next, I think, 8 or so picks that, I mean, I'm going to have Tua matching up with one of them right here. However, it is going to be DeVonta Smith and not Jaylen Waddle, which might be a little bit surprising. But last year, DeVonta Smith, the Alabama receiving core last year was possibly the best receiving core, I mean, college football maybe has ever seen based on their NFL potential. I mean, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, 2 early picks in last year's draft, and then also Jaylen Waddle and DeVonta Smith. And among all 4 of those receivers, DeVonta Smith still managed to be Tua's favorite target. I know he loves throwing to all of them, but DeVonta Smith, as a sophomore, he is incredible. He's got reliable hands. He's an amazing catcher of the ball. He's 6'1". Good catching in traffic. Really, really, really good route running. There's just no one that can keep up with him there. Cornerback pressing him, no problem. He's going to bust you no matter how you press him. I just think he's a phenomenal talent, young player. I think he'll be a really, really great fit to match back up with Tua. Uh, I don't think there's anybody who's going to be able to guard him once he gets into the flow of the NFL. Obviously, it's a completely different game, college to NFL, but he is a really, really phenomenal receiver. Moving on to pick number 10. On my draft board, I have the Washington football team with this pick, but I will go with my Denver Broncos pick for you guys. My Broncos pick is going to be Kwity Paye here. I think that if Kwity Paye is sitting here for the Broncos, I don't think they'll have the opportunity to pass up on him. I think that, I mean, he's a great talent, obviously, the number 2 edge in the class behind Rousseau, who went just a couple picks earlier. The edge out of Michigan is, I mean, I think he may weigh more than Rousseau, yet is 2 inches smaller. Yeah, he's about 20 pounds heavier, but he his pass rush is so good. He generates so much power in that big frame, and there's just not many people who can block him. He's just a complete power rusher. He just obliterates any tackles lined up against him. He can do just about anything you need out of a D lineman. So Kwity Paye at number 10. Moving on, number 11, obviously, the Washington football team need a lot of things. I mean, props to them for their win against the undefeated Steelers last week. But as you see it right there, the top need is quarterback, and I am going to draft a quarterback in Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson has been so good this year. He is one of the top passers in college football, and he's fast. He's gotten a really, really great arm. He really knows how to air that ball out deep. Great athlete, lean frame. He could, add a little bit more weight. I mean, he's only 210, which, I mean, only, what am I saying? But, like, for a guy who runs as much as he does and is able to throw that much, he could, it gets a lot more physical in the NFL, and he may need to put on more weight, but I don't think it'll be a problem for him. He's fast, good arm, as I've said. He's able to throw on the run, which is a skill that you're going to need in the NFL going up against top pass rushes, especially if you're going to Washington. You're going to face some top pass rushes. Any team is going to face top pass rushes. So, yeah, Zach Wilson right there out of BYU. Moving on to pick number 12, the Detroit Lions. Right here, Jaylen Waddle. I think that Jaylen Waddle and Kenny Galladay will be one of the most feared receiving duos in the league in years to come. Jaylen Waddle, as we know, really, really good out of Alabama, and Kenny Galladay has proven himself as a number one wide receiver for Matthew Stafford. I think that, I mean, there's almost no way that the Lions pass up on him here, because there's nobody else on the top of the board that the Lions could really, really need. I mean, make sure to tell me if I'm missing someone, but there's Jaylen Waddle is a beast. He is, I mean, he plays in one mode, and that's just full on hardcore mode the entire game. He's so fast. Like, I remember watching him last year at Alabama just run completely across the field. I mean, he's got Tyreek Hill speed. I don't mean to offend anyone saying that, but he is so fast. It's just hard to pass up on a guy that quick. I mean, no corner in the league can keep up with him. So that's why the Lions are going to take him there. Now, the Chicago Bears here at pick 13. The quarterback situation for the Bears has, I mean, to say the least, not been very good. With the rotation between Trubisky and Foles, I think they switched at this point 3 times, which is why I am going to take a quarterback for them here. I think that Trey Lance is, fortunately for them, still on the board. Maybe the Falcons could have taken him earlier, or the Broncos, but Trey Lance is sitting here, and the Bears are not going to pass up on the opportunity to take him. Trey Lance is, I mean, out of North Dakota State. He's a sophomore this year, I do believe, but he is eligible to come out of the draft because he was redshirted. He did not play his freshman year, so this is his 3rd year of college, but only 2nd year of football. Um, Great athlete. He is super, super fast. Good job escaping the pocket when he needs to. I just think he'll fit in with this Bears offense really well. Guys like Allen Robinson, who have good hands, he'll be able to find them, and even if he's a little bit off accuracy wise, Robinson will still be able to bring the ball in. And I think he does have good accuracy, but with all first year quarterbacks, other than maybe Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields this year, they're going to be a little bit off. That step up to the NFL is big. But yeah, I am going to go Trey Lance, here, because he's really good. I got to go a little bit quicker here, but moving on to pick 14, the San Francisco 49ers. There is not much at the top of the board that they really, really need here. As you can see from their team needs, inside O linemen, guards and centers, corner, QB is up there, safety. But I think one of their needs is offensive tackle, and there are quite a few offensive tackles that are really, really good here that aren't Penei Sewell. You don't need Penei Sewell to be great, to draft a great offensive tackle here. So I'm going to take Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech. I know Cosme's ahead of him on this board, but in my opinion, Darrisaw is probably a little bit better of a player. He's really athletic. He's 6'5", 314. So again, just about the size of Penei Sewell. I think he weighs a little bit less, but he is really good. 16 starts as an offensive tackle, going into his senior year, which is really good. I know it doesn't seem as good because that's as many starts as in an NFL season, and most NFL O-linemen are expected to play all 16 games. But in college, not many guys who aren't seniors or juniors start, because, I mean, unless they have ridiculous talent. So the fact that he played 16 games before his senior year is really, really good. He's really good. He knows where to put his hands on defensive linemen to just keep him away from that quarterback. He's really, really great at just in that pass rush. He is great at keeping the guys away. I mean, I don't know what else I'm supposed to say for an O-lineman. Obviously, if he's this high on the board, he's good at defending his quarterback. So, yeah, I'm going to take Christian Darrisaw there. Moving on, though, to pick 15, we've got the Arizona Cardinals. Right here, I know their top need is a corner. I know they've got Patrick Peterson, who is getting a lot older, but Byron Murphy they drafted, what was it, 2 years ago, and he has not been, I mean, he hasn't super lived up to what they were hoping. He's been all right, but I think they will draft the corner to go along with him, and that corner, the third in the class, behind Surtain and Caleb Farley is going to be J.C. Horn. I think that, J.C. Horn, obviously a really good corner coming out of South Carolina. I think that he's a hard one to pass up here for the Cardinals, especially since they need a corner. He's 6'1". He's just about the same size as the other two corners drafted. But he's willing to get in receiver's face and just screw them up at the line of scrimmage. He will make them run a route that they don't want to run. He is so, he's super physical on the ball once the ball is thrown up, and even at the line of scrimmage before the ball has gotten to the quarterback. The second the quarterback's got the ball, he is all over that receiver up until the time the ball is thrown to that receiver. There's just no way that receivers are going to have an easy time getting past him with his aggressiveness. Moving on to pick number 16 to the New England Patriots. Right here, I think the Patriots obviously need some help offensively here after losing Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski a couple years ago. Julian Edelman's getting older. They don't have much going for them offensively. I think Kyle Pitts is the right decision here just because tight ends make a difference, especially when you've got a tight end as good as guys like Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Darren Waller. We saw how good of a week he had last week, 200 yards. But Kyle Pitts is obviously the top tight end of this class. He's super big. He's just as tall as some of the old linemen we've had. And he is good in the blocking game, really good hands, good route running. He's got a strange knack for being able to defeat the zone coverage. Not strange, but he's really, really good against zone coverage, which is a good asset for players to have. Obviously, he's good against man, but that zone coverage, that's when you should be looking for him. He's able to find the gaps in the zone and just get to them. Moving on, however, pick 17. We've got the Baltimore Ravens selecting an asset for Lamar Jackson, Rashad Bateman. Bateman is a beast. Bateman, out of Minnesota, Bateman is really, really good in those contested catch situations. He will go up and win you a ball. And if Lamar's got to have a reliable receiver to throw the ball to, it's got to be Rashad Bateman. He's obviously not got one this year. Their receiving game has not been great. So I think Rashad Bateman is the way to go for this pick. Moving on, number 18, the Las Vegas Raiders are going to select Joseph Osai, the edge rusher out of Texas. I think that Osai is one of the best D linemen in this class. He is originally from Nigeria, but he came to America, played for Texas, and he's a beast. He is a run chase tackle player. He is able to get to just about any running back that gets the ball. He's going to hunt him down and tackle him. He plays defensive end, a mix with outside linebacker. I think he may be better suited playing outside linebacker for the Raiders just because he's not as big. He's only 6'3", 245, which is not as big as some of the other defensive linemen that play in the NFL. So I think that he'll be best suited at outside linebacker, and he'll be good there. Good run defense. Pick number 19, the New York Giants, my team. And I think here, I don't know if it's a stretch or not, but one of the things that the Giants need is obviously an O lineman. They also need a linebacker. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is there at 21. He's the linebacker out of Notre Dame. He's really good. However, I think the Giants' defense have been proving themselves this year. They've been really, really good this year, and that's why I'm not going to take Owusu-Koramoah, but instead I'm going to take Wyatt Davis, the O-lineman out of Ohio State. He is just a destroyer. He's huge. He thrives in super tight spaces and when there's a lot of space. He can win blocks against anybody, and then he's able to get out into that second level, win blocks for guys like Saquon Barkley, who he'll be blocking for if he goes to New York. That'll be a key asset to the New York O-line. I look forward to seeing if we're able to get him at pick 19, assuming we stay there. But Minnesota Vikings at pick 20. This one, I'm going to go with another O-lineman here. The top guy here, Samuel Cosme, is good O-lineman, no doubt. He's, I think, the biggest O lineman we've had, or at least the tallest O lineman so far. He's 6'7", only 300 pounds, so he's, I think, a good 20 pounds lighter than some of the other receivers. O linemen, O tackles that we had go earlier in the draft. But he is really, really great at winning blocking. He gets himself into really good positions to win blocks, and I mean, same with all the other linemen. He's just a beast in both the pass and run game. Um, I think that they'll have a hard time passing up on him, especially since there aren't a lot of other players that they could be drafting here. Because the Vikings have a better team than pick number 20. I think that there's not many things that they need, so they will end up taking Cosme because the O tackle, he's good. Not much else you can ask for. Moving on to pick 21, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know that they've got Vita Vea. I am not sure what's going on with his injury, but Jay Tufele is sitting right here, and that's who I'm going to take. Tufele is, he's a beast. He is 115 pounds. Let me see, he's really great athlete. Really good speed for a defensive tackle. It's strange. He's only 6'3", but he's fast. He's gonna be hard to stop in that run game. You've got to double him with your O lineman. So I think Tufele is the right pick there for them. So that is what I'm going to go with. Then the Dolphins up again. I know that Myles Gaskin has been good in recent weeks. He was injured, but he came back. He's been solid for them. However, Travis Etienne is still sitting on the board. Travis Etienne is an incredible, incredible talent. Out of Clemson, he's been really good for them. He's game-changing acceleration. His speed is he's incredibly fast. Big play, look at him. He's gonna get you them big plays. If you need to go really far in a short amount of time, he can get you there. He is not going to be caught by that first defender for sure. He's able to put a move on when he's got one guy on him in open space. So I would not be worried about Travis Etienne being brought down in open field when he's got space. So Travis Etienne is the pick there. Pick 23, the Indianapolis Colts. They've obviously been good this year. And pick 23, I think they can do a lot with this pick. And what they're going to do, I know they have a good O-line, but guys like Anthony Costanzo, he's getting older. That's why with pick 23, I have the Indianapolis Colts selecting Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern. I think that he is potentially the third, maybe even second best O tackle in this draft, obviously behind Penei Sewell, and then maybe behind either Cosme or Darisaw. I think he's really good. He's a beast, just like all the other guys. He is huge. He's got the ability in that run game. He gets out to the second level. He gets even out to the third level. If there were one, he would be in that third level. Rashawn Slater is a beast. He's a senior this year, coming out from Northwestern. I think he'll make an immediate impact to that offensive line to try to block for Jonathan Taylor, and then maybe they even get a quarterback in the second or third round, Mac Jones or any of the other guys, even if Kyle Trask falls that far. But I do think Rashawn Slater is a really good pick for them here. The Tennessee Titans at pick 24. I think this is a really good pick for them. I think that they need it, and Eric Stokes is on the board. I know they've got Adoree Jackson and Malcolm Butler, both of whom have been okay in the past year or two. After giving away Logan Ryan, though, I think their secondary does need a bit of a boost. So I think Eric Stokes is the way to go here. Eric Stokes is a beast. He's a really great corner. He's He's an outside corner. Not, I mean, he's not going to play the slot for you. Definitely not playing in the slot. But he's good running upfield. He's going to defend those streaks and those go routes really, really well. I think he'll be a good pick for them there. Moving on to pick 25, the New York Jets. The Jets again. They drafted Trevor Lawrence at pick number 1, and now they're going to draft a defender. I'm surprised he's sitting here this long in my draft. I just didn't have anyone else that really needed him other than the Giants. So I am going to go with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Koramoah is really, really good, and the Jets are going to be so happy that he's fallen here because although maybe their top need right now is not linebacker, the guy this good, they're gonna want to take him. He's really good. He plays in space. He's really, really good on those third down in coverage. He's great. He's got good explosiveness. This is a good pick for the Jets. He's a red shirt as a freshman, and now he's a junior. So I think he'll be a great addition to that Jets linebacking core. Now back to, again, the Jaguars. The Jaguars here at 26. Obviously, Justin Fields at pick number 2, and now an offensive lineman. And I think it's going to be Jaylen Mayfield. I understand Liam Eichenberg and Jaylen Mayfield, both really good players, but I have Jaylen Mayfield here out of Michigan. I think they're both great, great, great players, and the Jaguars obviously need some O-line to help with James Robinson and now to protect new addition Justin Fields. He's got a big frame. He's super athletic. He's got room to grow as well. He's got great mobility for a 6'5", 320-pound dude. He's really quick. He's got good mobility, great athleticism. I know I'm just repeating things I said, but those are just my things of emphasis there. That's what to look out for Jaylen Mayfield in this draft. And now, pick 27, the Cleveland Browns. Okay, so I have the order again different here. I've got the Buffalo Bills at pick 27, but don't worry, it's a different player that I'm picking. So the Cleveland Browns at pick 28 for me, but 27 on here. So the Cleveland Browns at pick 27, Liam Eichenberg. I think that the offensive lineman will add good depth to that O-line. I know they have Jedrick Wills and Jack Conklin, but the ability to have those 3 guys at tackle, it's just, I know they don't necessarily need a third offensive tackle, but I mean, Eichenberg, I think that he has the ability to play, I mean, just about anywhere on that O-line. I think he's definitely best suited at tackle, but if they need him in other spots, he's able to step up and be there. He's really great pushing off that line of scrimmage, so I think guard would actually be a decent spot for him in the Browns O-line, or if they had to move someone else, they could. But I am going to go Liam Eichenberg there. And now for the Buffalo Bills, obviously one of their top needs is a corner. Although they have Tre'Davious White, Josh Norman, clearly as we saw from that Derrick Henry stiff arm, is not going to get it done. And that's why I'm going to go for the Bills. Shaun Wade. I know he's a little bit further down here, but I think Wade will be a good addition to this Bills secondary that's already stacked with superstars. Tre'Davious White, Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, and then the linebackers are good with Matt Milano, who's one of the best pass coverage outside linebackers in the league, in my opinion, and Tremaine Edmonds. I think he'll be a great addition. He is, I mean, he's a great slot corner, which I think he's always good to have. I just think he'll be a great pick. Good slot corner. He's fast. Great athleticism. He'll get his hands up in your face. Now, the Green Bay Packers, pick 29. I've got them taking Dylan Redunz. I think that, wow, he's actually pretty far down here now. Dylan Redunz right here out of North Dakota State is the way to go. I think they need an offensive tackle to pair up with David Bakhtiari to protect Aaron Rodgers, to protect Aaron Jones, let them get the ball into their playmakers' hands. Redunz is really good. He's a great player. I think that another offensive tackle taken here in the first round. Not surprising. There are some good ones this year. So he's great athleticism, 6'6", 300 pounds. I think he's just the right pick here for the Packers. Now, the Chiefs, who somehow only have pick number 30 right now, they're the third best record in the league behind the Saints and the Steelers. And I think that here they'll go with one of their top needs, that O line, Elijah Vera Tucker. I think that Elijah Vera Tucker is, I mean, he's a really great player, obviously, as all these O linemen have been, and he's the second inside O lineman taken in this draft class. He's been playing left guard for the USC Trojans. He has played tackle, so it's possible that he could move back to tackle when he goes to KC. But I think that I think he'll stay at guard. I think they need a good left guard. Their O line is not the best in the league. They'll need someone to protect Mahomes. Mahomes can't just get hit. I know he doesn't often because he's so good, but he can't just get hit this early in his career if they want him to keep playing for the next mega deal contract that he signed. Moving on to pick number 31, right here with the New Orleans Saints, I have Zaven Collins. I think that the linebacker out of Tulsa will make an immediate impact to this Saints team that has, if you look at their roster, they have almost no gaps in their team. It's really surprising because a lot of teams have at least a few positional needs, somewhere where they could at least improve. The Saints don't really have any. Collins is a linebacker, and then this is the Saints' possibly one weakness. I know they've got Demario Davis, who is a beast, but Zaven Collins will add to that linebacking core, and he'll be a great addition. Him paired up with Demario Davis, it'll be like that Levante David Devin White pair up. I don't think as good. I think David and White are so good that it's hard to get as good as that. But Collins, a redshirted junior, he's really good in the pass coverage, and his rush defense is really good. He's great. He's great at stopping the running back, but I think his top strength is that zone defense. He gets into his zones. Not many people catch balls over him. I mean, he's 6'4", so you can't just toss it up near him. He's gonna at least get up there and knock it out of the receiver's hands. Moving on to the newly defeated Pittsburgh Steelers. Right here, now this is an interesting pick because the Steelers obviously don't need much help with their defense. Their defense is phenomenal. And offensively, they've got James Conner at running back. They've got three good receivers in Juju Smith-Schuster, Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. Their O-line is solid. They've been doing well protecting Ben Roethlisberger in the past few weeks. However, that is who I'm replacing, Ben Roethlisberger. I think that with Kyle Trask on the board out of Florida, I think that he will be a really nice fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that Kyle Trask right here, I think that he is, he's 6'5", 240 pounds. He did not start a single game in high school at quarterback, and he did not start a game in high school all the way through the beginning of the 2019 season. His first starting game was as a junior at Florida. That's crazy. For him to be this good already after not starting a single game in high school or in the first 2 years of college, I mean, that's ridiculous. He's got a great arm. He's good mobility. I mean, not as good as some of the other guys who came out earlier, but he's got a really good arm. He's good at reading defenses. I think this will be a really good pick for the Steelers. They'll be able to, I think they're at a point where they can take in a new quarterback and not be impacted much by it. As long as he can get their hands, the ball into the hands of their playmakers. Obviously, we've seen Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Smith-Schuster can all do magical things when they're given the ball. I just think that they're at a point where they can replace a quarterback and not suffer much from it because their defense is so good. Their offense just has to keep pace. They just have to do well enough. They just have to score more. And their defense is good at letting them score more. So I think that Kyle Trask is the pick here. That's it for my first round 2021 mock draft. It was super fun doing this. I just love looking at all these prospects. I've been watching film. Make sure to go down below, hit the like button. It's right down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're trying to get up there. I know our last NFL predictions videos doing, our NFL mock draft videos doing really well. Thank you guys so much for that. But make this one do as well as the other one. Comment down below your predictions for the draft and tell me what you think the Steelers are going to do with that 32nd pick, because that one could be a controversial one. Thanks so much, guys.